Hey, we family now. Hey, hey, we family now. Hey, hey, family time podcast with Ike jokes, where it's real talk and real laughs. Coming family, we family now. Hey, hey.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning to the Family Time Podcast with your boy Ike Jokes. I have a special guest today, Mr. Chad Stoner. So today we sitting down with Mr. Chad. Hey, listen, he was a former, for all you Nebraska people out there, he was a former Nebraska football player. He's a musician. He's a musician, pastor, and now works with the students in Papillion La Vista School. His history is about his struggle, determination, faith, music, community, and finding purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Mr. Chad Stoner.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I already feel so comfortable here that it feels like we've already been talking for an hour. So
yeah,
it feels good.
I mean, it feels good to finally have you on because I have been following you on Facebook. We spoke earlier when I seen you at a live performance, and I was like, man, who is this guy? He got soul. I need to find him. I need to follow him. And then somebody told me, go to his Facebook page. I was like, he got Facebook? Let me go find him. And I found you, and then I went to see you. Actually, the last time I seen you was downtown. I think it was the Woodhouse Theater. It was like a church thing.
Oh, I know what you're talking.
It was a while ago, though.
Yeah. Was it at the Holland Center? Was it at the Steel House?
Steel House.
Oh, was it Joyful Noise?
Joyful Noise.
Yeah.
Yes. And I didn't even know you was gonna be there. We got invited through family.
Okay.
And then when you came, I was like, that's Chad.
You're like, hey,
So that was perfect, man. So I appreciate you coming through, man. I really do.
Anytime I have the opportunity to come, well, first make a new friend.
Yeah.
And because it's like doing something like this. You can go from meeting to drilling down to the good stuff within a few minutes. So
That's
it's
true.
a special thing that you get to do with a connection. So I'm grateful for the invitation.
Man, I appreciate it. This is the first time I sat down with a celebrity.
Well, is that person coming in? Am I the opener for the celebrity?
At some point, you have to soak that in.
Oh, well.
Because people here in Nebraska that knows you consider you a celebrity. Well,
then I appreciate it. I receive that as a gesture. And, sometimes if I came up with a stock line.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can play and feel some sort of way about what you just did. Maybe you're not super thrilled with what you did, but then somebody, enjoyed it. It was meaningful to them, and they might come up and say, hey, I was here and man, I really enjoyed that, or made me feel this way. So I don't want to shade or crush or dismiss their appreciation or compliment. So this is my line. I said, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Because then I don't have to acknowledge that I was all there. But
you have to have a second one. You got to go, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Please come back again.
You know what? Wait a minute. That just got added.
And so I told you before, man, I was doing some research. So take us back to the 6th grade, man, when you picked up a saxophone, because you said it looked cool. Do you ever imagine that a random decision you will be elevated to become such a major part of your life, the saxophone itself?
I did not. I mean, I wouldn't have. My first memories were with some toy instruments at my own house and my grandparents. My parents had amazing music playing all the time. Then I played a little piano. But my mom and dad got divorced, but got remarried to each other.
Wow.
So when they got divorced, we moved to Nebraska, and then later my dad and mom got remarried. So
not to cut you off, where was you originally born?
Iowa. I was born in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I lived in Perry, Iowa, which is near Des Moines. It's I've lived in Papillion La Vista for basically my whole time since we moved out here. And so Perry's about the size of La Vista Papillion. So yeah, we moved here. I went to school in Omaha for a year and a half. Bell Ryan Elementary.
Bell Ryan Elementary.
Yeah. So anyway, I didn't do anything formally, and then my mom just knew that I should be doing something like that, and so I was going to junior high. 6th grade was the beginning of junior high, and so she took me in. Yeah, there's the instruments, and I was excited to be involved in something, but it took quite a while. I know you mentioned a couple things later. I played music through high school and was successful at it, but then had other interests in college. And so I didn't touch a horn for 4 years, something like that. And then it was out of the...
Was that the first instrument you touched? Or did you gravitate to just that one?
Only saxophone. And then, as time went along, I messed with other things. And but yeah, the saxophone has been the thread all along. I was in and out of it, but once it came back into my life, then at some point, then I was like, it was therapeutic. It was healing for me, and I was just doing it for my own, heart and soul. And at some point, then I was like, you know what? I feel like I kind of have a knack for this that's a little beyond the norm, and I feel great. And it seems like other people appreciate it, and I might be able to make $2-3, for a plan. Yeah. And so it wasn't until then that I thought, maybe there's something going on here. But yeah.
So I know with me when I played sports, right, and the coach wanted me to be the running back, and I loved it, but for some reason, I could never get like when they say, you got to know to go through the A-hole or the F, or you got to know when to jab and go. I was like, I was such a good running back, but I couldn't understand where to go. And the coach was always fussing at me, Isaiah.
Yeah.
And I had to learn, but it was difficult. So when you first picked up the saxophone, was it difficult, or did it just because sometimes some things just come natural to people. Was it difficult, or was it just natural?
It wasn't. It felt natural. When I tried to, I liked concert band. I hated marching band. And I had two amazing band directors, junior high and high school. That when I left junior high, though, that band director, I was equipped with, honestly, in some ways, all I would need to succeed. We went deep. He was fantastic. But I used to fake my mom's initials on my practice card, and then in the summer I was skipping like summer band, and then I would, come through and give him a note. And so the first day of school, 7th grade, I brought him a forged note from my mom saying, I give Chad permission to quit band.
Wow.
So I slipped him the note. It was all busy students, and I went down to the cafeteria where you kind of hang out if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. It was a few minutes, all of a sudden, I feel a presence, and it's him. He left the band there and came and said, get your stuff and get back in the band room. And so I said, my mom, she said I could quit. He cut me off, get your stuff and get in the band room. And it's because he ultimately, I still know him. He comes to shows today. He saw something that, came naturally. It still takes all the work in the world, but it helps when it feels natural.
Right.
I don't know if saxophone was meant to be, or I could have picked something else and, it would have been fine.
So it made me think, because most kids that I grew up with and myself, we will forge our name to go on a field trip.
Oh.
So when you mentioned that, and because when my mom found out, she was mad, of course. Did you tell your mom later on in life, and she probably laughed about it and was like, you didn't tell me that?
I think she knew.
Oh.
Because, at some point, I think after that little kerfuffle at the beginning of the year, he called my mom and said, I don't know what is going on, but we need to figure this out. And, I'm guessing that's what he did, was called her up. But I don't imagine she was surprised. I think she knew that I didn't like it, but yeah.
So you said that, hold up, let me get back, there we go. So, as I Googled before, and I asked you this, you play football for the Huskers, and from the outside, it looked like everything was going well, what was really going on with the Chad from behind the scenes that people know or don't know?
Yeah. You know, when I was 6th and 7th grade, I was already messing with, you know, my friend and I drinking, and, you know, we got a hold of some weed, and so we would go to the garage. Our apartment garage was across the complex. So I was already messing with stuff just out of boredom, and we had time. Then I didn't do anything like that for a while. But kind of all at once, like mental health stuff started to come into play. Then once I got after like football season and track for my high school year, the summer, started messing with more stuff. So mental health things, ultimately I was depression, but ultimately diagnosed as bipolar.
Oh, wow.
So that was kind of coming into reality, and then add to that significant amount of like substance abuse in college. And so in terms of football, it was going great. You know, it was the best thing I had going in a way. But aside from that, behind the scenes, all this stuff was going on. And, you know, to be honest, I was succeeding in football. I wasn't a scholarship player, though.
Okay.
I was a walk-on. But that was going well. But honestly, if I look back, I never really wanted to be a football player. You know, sometimes you do something because you can.
Right.
Which doesn't mean you should.
You should. That's
so
true.
I enjoyed it, meaningful. It's not like I hated it. It was just like I did it because I could.
Right.
And so add these complications with mental health, really set on fire by, you know, alcohol. And then that was just the worst possible storm. So that was just decline that went on behind the scenes for, the whole time, because I was there from 85 up until the fall of 87. And then I quit. And Coach Brown, Ron Brown, it was his first season there, and he's the first person to ask me, man, do you have any relationship with the Lord? You know, I think that's there. Coach Osborne, I went to him, and to his credit, he hooked me up with a team psychiatrist to try to help things out. So it's not like it didn't have people
helping,
looking after me, but sometimes you're just at a point where you just turn away help. And so, you know, flash forward, I quit, then it really declined, and then I tried to kill myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing over there? Hey, man, this episode is brought to you by Honorable Clothing, where they do all custom apparel. Be different and be honorable. Check this out. I just got me a mellow Minnesota Timberwolves shirt. Check this out, man. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, that's your team? Oh, so that must not be their team. But look, check this out, man. I'm talking, they do everything custom made. Look at the details in that, man. Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Make sure y'all check them out, man. Honorable Clothing. Be different, be honorable. Hey, tell them I Joe sent you. So we left off with you thought about committing suicide at one point?
I did. Yeah, I did actually attempt, and it was serious. I mean, it should have been it. But, you know, I was in a house that was former, like almost boarding house, chopped up. And so it was a house. We had like 6 of us living there. And I was in the downstairs bottom corner. And, you know, transparently, I took a mound of about, you know, 3-4 different kinds of pills. You know, I had some mental health stuff. I had Xanax. I had antidepressant. I had stuff I grabbed from my roommate's cabinet, and I had Old Crow whiskey, and I just downed all of it, and I just went and laid down in the bed.
Wow.
And, you know, I mean, I don't think it's uncommon, but at that time, my thought wasn't harm myself or leave this earth. It was more just like, I want to be done suffering and causing other people to suffer. It was more just like, sadly, in those cases, it can be a very calm, like peaceful decision to make. But for whatever reason, that night, all of my roommates decided after playing softball, they weren't going to go to the bar and do that thing, which doesn't make any sense because, we're college,
Right.
and I'm downstairs like 2 flights. And when they came in the front door, I was in the
Please make
kitchen,
sure you take the
laid
time
out
to
in the
like,
kitchen.
follow, and share Family Time Podcast.
Kind of
Now back
funny
to the show.
now with the refrigerator door open, and I'm laid out in the kitchen, and so immediately they knew someone's wrong, and they called, and that was the kind of descent to where, you really.
Nights they go to the bar, but this night they was coming back or didn't go to the bar and found you on the floor.
Yeah, and
with the refrigerator open, was you getting a snack too?
You know what, man, that's a powerful thing. My eating gift must have been maybe saved me, but yeah. So I went, to the hospital, and they did what they needed to do, and then I was in mental health treatment for not quite 3 weeks, close to my house, actually. It was the thing they have at Emmanuel now used to be at Midlands Hospital in Papillion. So I was there, and even then, I was more, I didn't have like a spiritual awakening or everything. I was more frustrated that it didn't happen and I was still suffering, So, moved home to my parents' basement, and I think you saw or heard that, it's like you kind of erase the Etch-a-Sketch at that point. Whatever had been going on, whatever your life was until then, you're like, well, this is starting from literally the basement,
Yeah, so for all my viewers out there who are too young to know what an Etch-a-Sketcher is, so basically you can draw something, and then if you want to start over, you shake it. It goes away, and you can start all over again.
Yeah.
That's for all you millennial babies out there.
We're a little long in the tooth over here. We've seen some stuff.
So you've been very open about your struggles, like you said, with drinking and mental health. What do you think the turning point was? When did you realize you needed to make a change?
There's always a point. There's a constant struggle of knowing something needs to change and trying and failing at a lot of stuff. I'm married to my wife, Elaine, who's amazing. We've been a couple since we were 15.
Wow.
Sophomores in high school.
That's history right
College was like on, off. My grandpa used to say, you two are like changing underwear. You're off and on every day. But there's never been a doubt, like total unconditional love. But then, all this stuff, once, we married, it was building, and, the worst part of it is I just started to withdraw all the time. I was just not present in, helping with life going on. And so, I remember one time it had been so dark, and I just kind of withdrawn, secluded myself, and it was just she had drained herself. And so she said, she took our boys, and she said, now I'm going to go to my parents. And she wasn't leaving, ending our marriage. She was just like, it's at a breaking point now. We got to figure out something to do. And so I was just in my mom came over, and I'm yelling at her, and I'm just mostly frustrated myself. And at that point, I sat on the couch. A while before this, I had bought a Bible because I thought I could learn myself well.
Right.
If there's the right combination of verses or wisdom, then I would learn that, and then it would go away.
Right.
Which is not how it works. And so,
unfortunately,
yeah, right. He always so good. It was. So I was actually on my couch, and with a magnum of Merlot in one hand and like a Bible on my knee in the other, and just going, I got nothing. Like I would love, I'm just talking out loud to God like this. I'm like, I would like to be what you know, you have planned for me, but I am helpless to do that.
Right.
I got nothing, so you're going to have to do everything.
Everything.
I have nothing to contribute.
You're going to have to draw the next intricate
Right.
God for
Yeah,
me.
exactly. Like, it's like going here,
Right.
because, and you know, even then, that was the turning point, but it isn't like I woke up the next day better.
Right.
It's almost like that changed something internally that made it possible to heal and grow forward. And so after that, everything really did change in terms of now there was hope, now there was possibility. And there was nothing like in my marriage broken that had to be healed in terms of like our relationship. It was just that now, in a lot of ways, I just had to learn how to consistently be present and just learn life in a new way. But then flash forward, I'm in the midst of that. A lot went on, and I eventually became a pastor, which I did for about 20 years in all kinds of ways. But even later on, going back only like 10 years, there was bipolar that was undiagnosed, and my life was good. Everything is good, but I found myself kind of withdrawing when I wasn't with people, and went in, and so got diagnosed with that, got a simple medication, and my life has been completely different since then.
Wow.
And it was a small thing. Now, I've written an article before about mental health. Like, I say it's hard to name and it's hard to tame. Because everybody's experience with mental health is different.
Right.
There's no like, here's what you do to
fix it.
It's,
this is just what I did.
yeah, exactly. That's how it was for me. And so things have been really, it's just unbelievable that one small thing helped things work out. But all along, it's helpful to be transparent about it, because people will say, man, that is me. And
Right.
I didn't think I didn't think there was any hope.
Right.
And just something about someone hearing that someone else is going, me too.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. And that's a hopeful thing. And so being transparent about it, first of all, I'm not worried about it. I'm not trying to hide anything. Life is stressful when you're,
Listen, man, I learned that once you become true to yourself and become an open book like you are, it's not only therapy for you, but it's therapy for others. Because now somebody else can go, like you said, I can relate. Maybe I can go talk to him. It might not be about jazz or the saxophone.
Yeah.
But let me just ask him, how did you do that?
Yeah.
Because I would love to do that.
Yeah.
So that advice alone, like you said, what I did may not fix you, but if you take those steps, you might find something that do fix you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's important too. I mean, you just never know how you touch people in life.
Yeah.
Because, I randomly, when I'm at work, I don't know why, I can't explain it, I would literally go to a gas station and walk up on random people and say, hey man, have a blessed day. Hey man, I'm proud of you, keep working. And I would say a handful of people will look at me like, man, I don't know you, but I needed that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I do it or did it at the moment. It's just because it's not. I don't like go out in the world and say, "Oh, I'm gonna catch somebody today."
Yeah.
It's just get out of the car and boom. So I just think that sometimes we don't know what our calling is, but in a moment, if we use it, it can become something better for someone else.
Yeah.
And I think what you're doing is your story. First of all, your saxophone. That's like it's like a tranquilizer. People just come and go, you know what I'm saying? People follow you, people love you, and then to hear your story, it's like, wow, Chad, wow, he went through that. That's pretty dope, man. So as I was talking to you in the beginning, because when I Googled, it said that you picked up a bass before. You picked up a bass. And you started 3 or 4 hours would pass without you noticing what you did with music. You give like all this amount of time. But what made you? So did you choose bass and sax, or how did that work?
I played saxophone through high school. Didn't touch saxophone for 4 years, like I was talking. And so then I'm in my parents' basement, and just kind of had an itch to scratch, some music. And some friends of mine from Lincoln invited me to come and sing in a garage band that was forming.
They wanted you to sing.
Yeah.
Do Chad got a voice?
Well, no, I know singers, so my answer is no. By no means at all am I a singer.
So don't book you for a singer.
Yeah, no. Now, in me, the reason something can come out your horn that's like that is because it's in there.
Yeah.
And, I can sing, carry a tune, and, do the thing, but I know singers.
Well, when I'm by myself, I sound like Bobby Brown.
I'm telling you right now, I'm Luther Vandross all day, every day.
That's a good one.
If I could really sing, I would be singing in the Starbucks drive-through. I'd be singing to you this interview.
Okay,
all my answers would.
If I can talk to you.
Exactly.
So
the bass is just, they asked me to be in this garage band, and I was surrounded with stuff, and you sit and mess with somebody's thing during like a rehearsal. So I went to the pawn shop in Lincoln and bought for $50 a black Ovation bass, and I would sit in my parents' basement and I would play along to U2 songs because they were easy to play along with, and it was therapeutic. Well, in that band, at some point, someone wanted to do Working for a Living by Huey Lewis and the News. And they were like, well, you play saxophone? I said, I haven't touched saxophone forever. Well, I borrowed the saxophone that I had sold way back when from that guy and put together the horn to Working for a Living. And boom, that is when it was back and started like a seed that turned into something. So that's where bass came in. It's just me just trying to,
So a lot of times, right? Like I told you before, a lot of times I'm not a question person. I'm more of a conversation person.
Yeah.
And I love to listen. You said something, and I'm not gonna let you just go past that.
Okay.
You said you picked up the bass and you started playing the U2 songs. Like, that ain't normal.
Well,
the most people will be not knowing what they're doing.
But look, I learned how to tune a bass from the guys in the band, and when I tell you, every U2 song is like 4 notes. I'm telling you right now.
I can play bass.
By the end of today, there's at least one U2 song you could play on the bass. Even if it sounded raggedy, you'd be like, I officially did play this song.
I found my niche.
So yeah, I'm not a singer and I wasn't a bass player. It just was a helpful thing that allowed me to kind of, and really playing with the songs wasn't the point. There's just something about there's so many U2 songs that the message just spoke to me. I like all kinds of music, and my lane is R&B with gospel and things, but just in general, I mean, someone asked me like, what are your hobbies? Listening to music is my hobby.
So when you get these R&B covers, is how long do it take for you to learn a song?
It kind of depends, but I mean, the more I'm familiar with a song and it's just in there, it's a pretty short trip to learning it. Because musically speaking, and anyone who's doing music stuff, R&B is at its core, it's a musical thing, but at the core is a 5-note group called a pentatonic scale. And whether it be gospel or R&B, you can center all of it around 5 notes.
Wow.
And from there you expand, and there's different songs, and that expands, and then licks and runs and all that. But at its core, you can learn something because that at its core, it's simple, but it's what comes from that makes it meaningful. Because you could hear someone sing 3 notes, 2 notes. Heck, someone could sing 1 note and hang on it like Luther.
Yeah,
and it will change you inside. It will change you inside. So I'm playing stuff that I love, which means it's a shorter trip to learning it, because I'm not starting from scratch with just someone saying, hey, this. I'm at a point now where I only have to play what I love. You know, I only need to do the performances that I want to do. And at some point along the line, I play everything, jazz and all that, but then it just came down where I'm like, this is the thing that is the thread that's my lane, so I'm going to lean into that and give myself to that. And that is also, it changes the game when yeah.
So, let's see, I've seen something where it says that you spent 20 years as a pastor. Now you work with the students in the school district. How did you, on your own struggles, change the way you see and help young people? Like, what are you going through? What made you choose that lane to be a pastor and help the youth?
You know, it wasn't like a conscious decision, you know, that this is what I want to do. It just started, you know, spiritually. I started, you know, that whole Bible thing. I came to understand that it's like, even in the Bible it says, you know, you read all this stuff and you think that it's gonna lead you to me, but it's me that you want. It's like, this information is important, but this is, God's saying, this is me unpacked. Right. So you can explore this, but that's not where it is. And so, you know, that process happened to me just trying to, you know, just gorge myself on that. And then it just started to find that you find opportunities just like you. It's almost like you're living and you're hopeful and you maybe have a little glow about you because, you know, your life is improving. And it's like the reverse of what you're talking about. You're doing that, and then someone might say to you, instead of you just saying, hey, be blessed, man, you know, hang in there, do the thing, you might, it's like if now you're doing that, and it probably, I know it already happens to you, then people start coming to you going, hey, you know what, man, you're just positive. I'm just so encouraged by that. You know, I want to be more positive like that. That's how it all started. And then again, I was like, you know, this seems to be something that is meaningful to me, that I can offer, that it's of value to someone else. And so it led into that. And it started with just, you know, people coming to me talking about different struggles. And then I was working, you know, just in the youth group at church, and then found an opportunity to go into the jail, like Douglas County Youth Center, and honestly play saxophone, but then be able to talk. And that just continued to unfold, where then I had to raise my own support, but I worked for Release Ministries here in town. So I'd go to the jails and mental health. For those, again, who are long in the tooth, there's Utah Holly and Cooper Village. And so that unfolded, and one thing after another was just an opportunity to do that at the next level. And so that it just kind of, my path just sort of led into that. And honestly, at no point during the whole journey, I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this, because I feel like I'm not that dude. But I did all the study and everything, and I was ordained just like everyone who went to seminary. I had to take the same tests and everything. But because it was kind of life happening in the real moment, it wasn't a struggle to just study for tests. It was, this is what's already going on. So that was that. And then, you know, it's another thread, but, you know, came to a point in a way that intersect a lot of my life. George Floyd was murdered. And then following that, here in Omaha, during all the protests, James Scurlock was a young man who got murdered. And at that point, it was time for the next season of my life, because in the context I was in, I couldn't say and do what was necessary to my identity or what I wanted to be. So that's a flyover of the pastoral time, but that's how I got into it and why I left. And it was good. Not many pastors get to leave ministry without a bunch of ick. You know, usually there's some real bad story. You know, you mentioned George Floyd, and I was thinking, like, because I seen something where it says North Omaha has been one of your greatest sources of support in life.
not only what did the community give you, and has it changed why did it have a long lasting impact on you? And for a lot of people who don't know, North Omaha is like, would you say mainly like African Americans?
Yeah, actual North Omaha, yeah. But honestly, and if you, in my experience, if you say North Omaha, what generally you're referring to is Black Omaha.
Black Omaha, okay.
Not necessarily people who are just, grew up or even live in North Omaha,
right.
which is significant, but it's really kind of, in my experience, you're expressing Black Omaha.
Right. I mean, because it's like
the core of that
right.
would be North Omaha.
Because that's like most when you go places like here, if you go south, it's like more Mexican.
Exactly.
Like in New York, you go to Little China.
Yeah.
It's just like people have their own place that they go, they're comfortable at. But what has North Omaha, some of your greatest support coming out of North Omaha?
Man.
Take your time, brother.
After, kind of the path to playing saxophone, got married, and we moved to Boston. I went to the Berklee College of Music in Boston, moved to Kansas City and back to Omaha, and I had kind of found what my influences were. And, it was jazz and certainly gospel, R&B. Well, I had a little band that I started when I got back, and I'm playing the stuff I like. But I started to get, because of how I was playing saxophone, I started to get opportunities because I was getting invited to North Omaha, churches, events, things to play. And it was saxophone that created access to or exposure to people. And it was because of saxophone that I started to get invited into, it's not just North Omaha, honestly, Black culture. No white person is Black, nor can they be, and sometimes they get too comfortable and think they're, but you are impacted and a part of a community, and it just grew to the point where my whole musical journey has been fueled by, supported by Black Omaha.
You got it.
So it went past music where spiritually, personally, not only was I finding opportunity, but making like deep relationships with people who were so supportive. It's like they wanted me to succeed. And it was probably in some ways more powerful because it wasn't just based on race or, wherever you grow up, that's your circle of people who, I've lived in the suburbs my whole life. And yet my deepest circle of love and support and success has been in the Black community. And so again, pastors, men, women, I've just had really it's I can't overstate that so much of who I am and what I have is I owe to North Omaha. And yeah, and I consistently get invited into people's houses.
I was just about to say, so you definitely have been invited to a lot of cookouts.
Last year, I played 125 times.
Wow.
And I think I figured out that 80 some of those were events, private events that I got invited into. I'm talking cookouts, reunions, anniversary, surprise proposals, birth announcements, you name it, birthday after birthday. And in every one of those cases, I was connected by someone, but then it's like this, I'm coming in and we're family now.
Right.
I don't care what you want to call it or what you define it as. That's what it's been like entirely, like my whole musical life in Omaha. And as a result, it's not just about the saxophone anymore. Like, there's just genuine love and relationship. And so I can't describe how much I owe to,
Yeah, I mean, we was talking earlier off air, and I was telling Chad when I first seen him, it was mainly black people there, and he was like a soul brother, you know. I mean, he was soul brother, the first soul brother #1. You know what I'm saying? So, and then from there on, it was like every event, it was mainly, you know, like you said, we don't like to do the race thing, but we just being truthful. Like, it was mainly the black community that was there, and I was like, they really love him. Like, they love you. I watch people get up and dance and scream your name. They definitely give you tips. I'm gonna tell you, a lot of black people ain't giving out no tips.
Yeah. Well, conversely, I'll say that when it comes to tips, black people are very generous in a way, and we don't have to make it about race. I'm telling you, I've played it all. But I think when it comes to arts, entertainment, I don't care if it's music, comedians, food, any form of something that's so appreciated, there again, you know, people, you know, in a way that's very unique, will spend $2,000 to go to Chicago, buy an expensive concert ticket, pay for a room. All it is to support something they love, not just from a distance on the radio, the number of times I've been playing, and because I'm already getting paid, I won't even bring anything to get tips. Somebody there will find a bucket and bring it up and put it out, because it's like again, there's just so much, an expression of love and appreciation. And so anyway, so I'm grateful for the fact that,
because I can see them. I think I've seen it before. I think you was on stage and somebody brought a tip jar and you was like, "Whoa, no." And I think the lady said, "No, you gonna get these tips. We gonna get you some tips, Chad."
That has been how it is. So again, like I'm grateful for that, but that kind of comes along with it.
Well, I got one question for you. Last question. Then I like to do something where I call the family time hot seat rapid question.
Oh, all right.
This last question it had me thinking. To that kid that's in the basement like Chad was with an instrument that don't know what should I do, how should I go about getting people to hear me? Is there any advice, or what would you tell that kid?
Well, the first thing I would say is that whatever that is, that spark, that kind of, a longing or just an interest, and it could be that you're going to start to sketch, or you want to pick up an instrument, or you want to start writing, or some artistic form, or you just want to start learning about something. Whatever it is, just pursue that and do it for yourself. Whatever it is, when the Etch-a-Sketch is clear, now you can abandon the rules and not do the thing that you're supposed to do, because you've probably been doing that and it didn't do anything. Is whatever that is, pursue that and do it for yourself, and your goal being to just continue to find fulfillment and meaning in your own life and grow, improve. Because whatever that is, at some point, just like you going up to people and just pouring out positivity, that's just who you are. You're like, you said, I don't even know why. I just like going into the Maverick, and I'm just compelled to do that. Well, if that's the thing, do that. I remember I asked Bishop Robert Tyler, at one point. He, God rest his beautiful soul. I said, I feel like I'm called to this kind of pastor thing. And he says, well, if that's who you are, start being that. So if that's the voice that's in you, pursue that, because ultimately then that's going to lead you to the people and environments that you should be in.
Right.
It's going to draw people into your circle who you already have a shared kind of essence with, because you're interested in the same thing. And just don't stop. Just don't stop. Keep doing it, so that first and foremost, it's for you to be the person you want to be. The rest of it, money or, success or connection, will happen from that.
Because I think that when you love doing something, of course, people want to get paid for it. But if you love doing it and get paid for it, that's a plus.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should. How can I say that? I don't think you should go into it wanting to get paid. Because sometimes when you don't, or don't look forward to it, it happens anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people want to get into certain fields. Oh, I want to get paid. I want to get this. But if you're doing something you love, some people say, if you're doing something you love, you'll do it for free.
Yeah.
Now, if you pay me, that's cool.
Right.
But I love doing this.
Yeah. Well, at some point, if it's about pay, you have this thing that's so personal, like your identity, and you can pursue it, and it's just pure. Well, if money comes to that, that's awesome. But if you start looking for money, whatever this pure thing is, well, you're going to start to mess it up, because you're like, well, it should be like this, but I'm going to kind of mess that up, because if I change it, because so-and-so is going to give me some money, it's no longer as true to who you are.
Yeah.
And that's not even wrong to do that.
Right.
But, you're talking about starting from scratch.
Yes. Yes, from scratch.
From the kid in the basement, that's a different thing.
Yeah. So we're going to get into this
All right.
rapid fire question, hot seat question with Chad. So I got a couple of stuff.
Yeah.
One word that describes your journey.
Hope.
Hope. Why hope?
Because if there's even a seed of that, everything is possible. If that gets snuffed out, and I've been on both sides of that, but if there's even a glint of hope, then everything is possible from there. And that's there's always, it got snuffed out at one point, but when there's been even just a glimpse of it, everything has been possible.
Hope. You hear that? Hope.
Hope.
Who had the biggest impact on your life?
I mean, you can't not start with my parents, because even more in hindsight, they just unconditionally loved me. My starting point was knowing what unconditional love is, even when I wasn't embracing it or feeling it, so my parents, for sure, my mom and dad.
Cool. So we had a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but we had some bad memories as a Husker. Give me your favorite memory as a Husker.
A lot of them are relational, as far as there was still a freshman team. This is just a memory that was favorite. There's a freshman team. Steve Taylor was in my class. Broderick Thomas, Kent Wells, that class in '85. And we had a freshman team, and we would just roll people. It wasn't even fair, because it was a small college, and you have Division I athletes. But I remember it was one of our last. We only had five games, I think. And Steve Taylor threw me a touchdown, and we're right down in the end. It was just like a bootleg right over there, and it got done. I was so excited. My, mom and dad were up there, everything. And it's a funny story, because Steve after that says, you know what, if I would have just run it in, and he could have, he said, if I would have run it in, I would have set the record for most rushing yards for a version ever. But he threw that to me. So my little moment of mini glory was kept him from a record. So that's one of a ton, but that's a special memory. That's funny.
So
too.
I've seen and I have, this is funny, I have another rapid question that's related to that, because I've seen how just that your smile happened when you was talking about that story. So let's just say, with all the mental health stuff and all the problems you had, would you would have chose football or music?
Like in hindsight?
Yeah.
Because at the time, now I could say music, but at the time, like I had the 40 record, had the 10-yard dash record, strength and disc record, so there was a energy about that, but it wasn't something that was sustainable. So now, without a doubt, I would have just kept on music even after high school. So absolutely music.
Music. Saxophone or bass?
Saxophone.
Sax.
But if there was a second one, I would be I'd want to be killed. Jacob Sorensen is the bass player I played with the longest. He is my gold standard. He's national. He's a producer and everything. So that's a motivation. Bass would be second. Oh man, I'm feeling the bass.
What's one thing you want people to remember about Chad Stoner?
That he loved people. That, if you come to a performance, there's something about just, I'll say intangibly, kind of supernaturally, you just be like, I feel like he's here playing to me, for me. I'm a part of anywhere from 10 to several thousand people at different performances I've done, but somehow they feel like, man, that like, not only am I feeling that, but I feel like he's here because he wants me to know something. It's the version of you walking up to people. So I want them to know that that's love. Yeah. Even raggedy folks. There's raggedy folks.
Oh, there's a lot of raggedy folks. You know a lot of raggedy folks? You can say their name if you want. I was given the nickname Tyrone. At Salem Baptist the
Church.
Most blackest name, Tyrone.
Al Meeks, when I went on tour with Salem Baptist, the choir, back 20-some years ago. And Al Meeks, I was the only white person on the tour, and he goes, you know what? Your government name isn't sufficient. So from now on, you're Tyrone. So I always play Tyrone by Erykah Badu.
Yeah, I think you better call Tyrone.
Exactly. But I say, you know what? Sometimes you got somebody in your life who's just trash, and the trash needs to be taken out. So there's folks. I'm just saying, I don't need to judge them about it. I just look at their life. Right. And so
when they come around, just play Erykah Badu. Tyrone, call Tyrone.
Right. And then sometimes be like, don't call me. Like, you don't have to deal with that. But I mean, even none of us have to want to. You can love people from a distance.
That's true.
And you can just put out love generally.
Yeah.
And hope that it might kind of like affect somebody in the right direction. And so I would say that like people just sense that that's what's behind what's coming out the horn. Yeah.
One last question. If it was one song you can play forever, what would it be?
A House Not a Home.
Wow, why that song? I mean, I love that song.
Yeah,
why that song?
well, it's the first song I ever recorded because when
First of all, not to cut you off, that's House Is Not a Home by Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Dionne Warwick did it before him.
True.
But once Luther does a song that's yours or someone does it, he just took it from you.
Yeah, basically.
You're erased from the history books with that song.
She became the remix.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, and Burt Bacharach and Hal David wrote that song. That song, I'm 59 and it's 3 years older than I am.
Wow.
And it just something, I mean, it's as a songwriter, Luther's voice, first of all.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of his Mount Rushmore tunes.
You know something he did that I thought was pretty cool when I used to watch him when I was a kid? How he used to walk past the microphone.
I've seen him in concert twice.
Like,
oh, he's like,
right.
Come back by, and he would do that 10 times.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. And there's a guy who could like slay you with a whole note.
Yeah.
So his voice, just bar none, is my favorite voice ever. Add that to a song that was gorgeous, and at a time in my life where Kirk Whalum is my biggest saxophone influence because a lot of people play with like a vocal style. He owns it, and not only that, he's the only saxophone player Luther ever used on recordings. So I was trying to express myself like a singer would, and Luther was my guy, and House Not a Home at the right time in my life just blew up. So yeah, you barely finished the sentence.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I've been playing that song. I recorded that song 22 or 23 years ago, and still I played on every gig. Coming up September 6th, my whole band is playing Miller Park, and that song will be in it, and it will be the song that all of us gather together, and it's the joint. Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that, but I want you to say it again. Let people know where you're going to be performing at next, the date and the time.
I do a solo thing. That is what I do 90% of the time, and so I'm playing on Friday, what would that be, 4th of September, at Lit, the new cigar lounge that's right down on 16th and Cumming.
Yeah, I seen that, but when I went through there, it was just opening. So I haven't been there.
So I'm the first Friday of every month the rest of the year.
What?
So that's the solo. I do the solo thing, but it is a blast.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
How was the atmosphere there? It's nice there?
Oh yeah. It's just the vibe is fantastic. And, it's still a time of year where they open up the whole wall and people are on the patio and inside. So
that's pretty cool.
That's where I am on that first Friday. So if Sunday's the 6th, that's the 4th. That's solo. And then with my whole band, Sunday, September 6th in Miller Park. We were supposed to be there, got rained out, and they went to town to get us a reschedule. It's at 5:00. So it can be bring the whole fam. And please come. Because
talk to him, Chad.
Because in my whole history as a band leader, it's my favorite show set I've ever put together. And it's going to be just something that, again, it won't be just people there watching the dude honk a horn. Immediately, you're going to see things collapse into just some shared experience. I just happen to be playing the saxophone. So anyway,
that's dope.
Sunday, September 6th, 5:00, Miller Park. Free. Bring your coolers, bring your chairs, bring your kids.
Yeah.
Or not, if you're trying to have some me time.
Don't bring no regular people, though.
No. Although, I will be playing for them as well.
So, I told Chad earlier, he's like, what to expect when I come there, and I said, well, you can do whatever. You want to play something for the people, you can do that. Would you play something for the people?
Well, it would take me a minute to get my horn together.
Oh, that's cool.
Get warmed up.
We can pause and come back.
Oh yeah, I'll play something for people.
All right, so
absolutely.
Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. What you gonna play? House Not a Home?
I'll play some of House Not a Home.
He's gonna play House Not a Home.
Yeah,
he know that one now.
Yeah, know that song.
So I told you earlier, whenever we come in, whenever we go out, we do. It's family now. Would you like to do that with me?
Yeah, you do the first one. I'm gonna join you for the second one.
So here we go. We family now. Hey. We're family now. Hey. Thank you for tuning in to Family Time Podcast with your boy Ike Jokes and Chad Stoner.
And thank you, man. Seriously.
Yeah. Anytime, man. We'll be back with some live music from Chad. Stay tuned. Live on Family Time Podcast with Ike Jokes. Ladies and gentlemen, Chad Stoner.
podcast with Ike jokes, where it's real talk and real laughs. Coming family, we family now. Hey, hey.